Mama put my guns in the ground. I can shoot them.
I thought you were recording when we said the other part.
That cold black cloud is coming down. Feels
Stop
like
it,
I'm
Ian.
knocking on heaven's door.
Yeah, the sadness snap.
Why did you choose Spirit Charmer or whatever?
It's so creepy.
What was your thought process
Robert
behind
was wanting
His
an extra
idea,
angle.
and I'm like, screw it, it'll be interesting.
Robert wanted an extra angle. You said to me you were very focused on all the people you couldn't save and everyone who died, and you felt you could have done more. And I was like, well, there's spirit
So it's
medium,
like, hey,
but you're
let's-
not really a spiritual character. What if it does it through your tech? You did
It's
the
like, hey, what
content
if
in
we
heaven
just,
already.
what if I just sign myself up to an endless feels train of regret forever?
Well, you gotta
Yeah,
live
solid
with your
choice there.
decisions, I guess.
So yeah, that's the thing now, and also because it's technology based, he has to choose between abandoning his favorite thing or being constantly tormented by people that he didn't say.
It's fine. We'll fix it. Or we won't, and we'll all die, and we'll end up in
Also-
a horrible war.
I may have had plans, so I was happy you picked it up.
Did you potentially
Oh, yeah,
encourage
like-
a player to make a decision? What
Like
GM
with every
has
deal
never do
I've ever
that.
made
Ever
with
done
EA,
that.
I'm sure that there are extra conditions I don't know about that are going to screw me over later, but I went
One of
saw
my
it and did it anyway.
favorite things to do? I'm like, I will give you a discount on this thing as long as you don't know everything it does.
That is a
It's like,
lot.
hey, do you want 6 intelligence? Yeah, sure. Okay, there's a spider demon egg in your brain.
I'm not going to give you 30 XP, 6 intelligence without massive drawbacks. You're aware of that
I
going
know,
in.
I know.
Yeah. No, it all makes sense.
Speaking of being aware of the
I-
contract going in, Layla, making a deal with Ra.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
It's not.
Layla
something
Layla
we-
made some interesting choices this week, and we all also made some interesting choices. Like, how
I have
dare
had-
they follow me?
I have a thought actually. If we went in the tomb with Layla and then we got there and we nicked the spear and then she's there is like, well, the spear isn't here, therefore I don't need to return it.
No, she
now
has to
we
do
have a
everything she
spear.
can to find it, which means, and then return it, so that means she has to take it off him as well.
Fine.
It's covered in the
I don't
contract.
know why I expected Raw not to make
I think
an
it was
airtight
specified
contract.
though that she needed to find it within the tomb. She doesn't have to find it if it's no longer in the tomb.
It's loosey-goosey, and Layla didn't read didn't understand the full ramifications of the contract, but
Yeah.
it's...
Which is why we find it and then hide it from Layla forever.
If Layla doesn't know where it is, that maybe works. But if she has any inkling that you might be hiding it, then she knows, and therefore the contract is something she signed with her blood.
So don't make it Rob's job to tell her that we can't find it.
How many times have we
I
done that
suppose
now?
if we took it and destroyed it without her knowing, then she would know where it is, but it's been destroyed, and that would void probably the contract. But we'd have to do all of it without her knowing.
Mm.
And we don't know
the
what
spear
their contract
does.
really was.
We need to know what the spear does, because it could be really bad if Raw gets it.
Honestly, this just came from Maggie being like, look, I need to go and I need to find a golem son. I said, look, that's going to be really, really fucking rare because I don't want you just going around insulting people. And also golems are meant to be like super rare because otherwise they'd be more common and they're pretty tough. And I was like, who's going to know where one is? Really only Ra. And Maggie was like, I'm okay with that. I was like, he's going to want something in exchange for that. And she was like, sure, anything that's not particularly, that's fine.
It's not
Provided it
about
isn't...
murdering people
Yeah.
that you know
Those
about.
were the options that he provided. Was like, oh, but I mean, it was like you were saying other demons. But, yeah.
I mean, you wanted a way to reinstall a vampire that would massively sort your problems means that I'm going to give you a different problem to solve.
Is she gonna massively solve my problems?
I mean, if you
No,
reinstall
well, I mean, she's
her,
still going to be lust, even if she gets her soul back.
it depends. She
Is
might
she,
fight
though?
it. You don't know what she's going to be like.
It's true.
Because it isn't lust like tied to the vampire soul. So maybe if we reinstall her, also lust will bugger off
I
somewhere.
have a plan for the lust. I know a lot about Catherine.
Oh, do you?
Well, not a lot, but like I know enough that I think I can get her to come back.
You have the score records and some press clippings. Not a lot, but it's a good basis to
But I
start
think
with.
in the sense of like a Slayer, I know what she's gone through.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So I share something with her that like I don't think anyone else.
There's still
And-
a relative rarity in the Slayer line. Most Slayers are trained when they're possible Slayers. I can't remember what it's called. Potential Slayers. They're given some form of training. You're one of the few that didn't have training before you became Slayer, right? Just like Buffy.
Yeah, because I was in like martial arts in school.
Yeah, you just happened to do some martial arts, etc. And then they were like, you were called, and they were like, wait, there's a Slayer over here. Let's go. Hi, by the way, vampires are real. Do you want to fight them? You've got to fight them.
I thought we were gonna get deeper, and I thought you guys were gonna search when Janet told you about my school and stuff. I thought Rob was gonna look it up further. There's more to the story than just like the school burning down.
Oh yeah, I'm sure there's like we still don't know all the actual details of it. We just uncovered the next layer.
Yeah,
that's probably stuff to ask Layla and have a heart-to-heart about after. Not
that's
like
the thing
she's
of,
running
like,
away and everything's in mortal danger.
A certain part of it is, do we really want to like dig into Layla's past without any permission from her?
Oh no, doing it with her there is way more fun. Imogen's not really going to be in a talking mood when they first meet up, so...
Oh, I'm sure.
Maybe in a texting mood. Just tell her by text how you feel.
Write everything in boils.
Write everything. The boils thing is pretty horrible.
I was like,
well,
what spell are you referencing? Is it the... Oh, I love it. Violet is a little bit of me.
Oh, yeah.
No, we can tell. Imogen is in
my
the
friend, though.
Hell hath no fury, woman scorned,
Oh dear.
oscillating between being very sad with crippling self-esteem to incredibly angry.
I think on Layla's side of that, she's just like, oh, if I break up with her, then she can't be my weakness anymore.
Yeah, you're trying to shield
that's
her.
the perfect. That is the exact hero rationale that you're like, that's so not logical, hero.
But like in my mind, in Maggie's mind, I'm like, that's like so stupid.
Yeah, but
especially if you still care for the person, there's still a weakness to you.
Do you realize though that Ra is fulfilling your end of the bargain?
What do you mean?
You said he had to keep them. He had to try and keep them safe. So he first of all had them arrested so that they couldn't do anything that night. And then he sent them after you.
He still told them everything, which is not going to help keep them safe.
Oh,
so
it is. Because where's the safest place for them? Next to the Slayer. That's why he sent them after you.
I mean, he's clearly loopholing the shit out of this.
Oh, yeah. He is.
That's his job. Like,
yeah. No.
He's greeted.
Which is why Imogen was like, oh, we can...
He's not going to loophole the stuff out of giving you a golem soul, etc. He just wants what's best for your group because he's quite happy that you fight the sins and stuff.
Yeah.
He's weirdly like, oh, you should be all together. Like, it's so bizarre.
Yeah, he's
so
weird.
Just chat.
What?
Yeah, I enjoy how like he's very clear in his motivations, and his motivations are very selfish, like very focused on himself, and like as long as you're aware of that, it makes sense. But it also means that like he's about a 50-50 on whether or not he's going to be helpful or not helpful.
Yeah.
I really enjoy Ra as a character.
I love him as a character, but like Layla does not like him at all, which is the funniest thing that she had to make a deal with him, and so that was hard. You guys stopping my credit card. Oh my god, like
it was a good
why?
call.
I'm in like a foreign
smart.
country.
Well, maybe you will stay put then.
It would be worse nowadays. Back then, it's less prevalent. The use of Wi-Fi, phone connections is less reliable, especially in a place like Tunisia. So you did have enough cash on hand to do some stuff. You'll be poorly
I have enough
provisioned,
cash to rent a Jeep, and that does not mean I'm going to be able to get back.
Yeah. So if you were smart, you wouldn't leave.
So
oh my god,
you would talk to us instead.
She was trying, but you wouldn't answer your phones.
We were in the sky.
Obviously, the rational excuse for that is because we chartered a private jet to come find you.
I love the fact that as a storyteller, I want it to be the most dramatic. Like, you just happened to keep missing each other with his phone calls.
It's
but
so
genuinely,
bad.
I didn't have to make that happen. You literally said, I'm going to phone, and I was like, you've already just
like
said
I
you're on a plane.
wanted to have conversations with you guys and just made it worse and worse every single time. Which is great for
I
drama.
didn't
It's
have
great
to
for
make
drama.
any of that happen. It just happened. I was like, this is great.
Yeah.
I have to...
Imogen doesn't know she wants to talk to you yet.
Imogen's going through ups and downs. I want to talk to her. I don't. I hate her. I love her.
Yeah. No, it's she's her crisis is I don't know how to feel right now.
There's no survival skill either, so that's probably going to be knowledge or wildcard survival.
For what?
Going out into the middle of a desert.
Yeah, you could probably make a science, potentially.
Science for some things, if you like trying to condense water off a sheet or something, like that could be science or Mr. Fix-It. But otherwise it'll end up being under knowledge or wildcard survival. It'll be tough. It'll be interesting.
We're only on a fucking dungeon crawl.
Yep. It's gonna be
I'm
very.
wondering if we're gonna. How long we're gonna be in Tunisia for?
He's like, thanks. Now I have to plan something completely different than I've ever done for Layla before. I was like, I'm sorry. He's like, no, thank you. I was like, okay.
But that's pretty much how the conversation went. It's gonna be Lara Croft / Tomb Raider, Lara Croft / Indiana Jones. That's what we're doing now.
That's wonderful. Can Layla acquire just an Indiana Jones hat?
That's what someone else said. They were like, you gotta get a hat. I was like, oh god.
Well, you need something.
Imogen in like a button-up shirt and a little pencil skirt.
Yeah.
Layla's just have to get back together with Imogen after seeing her like that.
Let's be real. This is going to be more The Mummy than this is going to be like.
Oh yeah.
Lara Croft or
Indiana Jones. Because it's got that horror aspect that it's Mummy. Yeah.
Because there's actually like, it's not Nazis. It's monsters.
Mm.
Yeah.
Because you never know. There could be Nazis in Tunisia still.
That's true.
Maybe they took over the tomb.
Can I punch a Nazi?
I was not expecting it to go like this today.
You thought we were all going to have totally rational thought process?
No, I didn't. I actually like. What's great is it. Like I have like an idea of how I want it to go right, but like you never know what's going to happen, and that's what makes it great. Like the drama was just like left and right all over the place. It was great.
That fucking note.
I'm sorry.
No, it's great. It was great.
But the you promised though.
Mm-hmm.
The promise part is interesting because like it makes sense that Imogen thinks about it in that way. Like if you're not with me, then you're, Then
it was a joke.
Layla's thing is like, I promise I'm always going to be there for you. Does not mean like.
But you're not there for her. You're away right now.
But I'm there for her in a different way. But Imogen doesn't see it that way, and I think totally.
I think it's very clearly like a different perspective. Like to Imogen, you abandoned her. Like you told her one thing in the past, and then you just decided that it wasn't important anymore.
And in the twisted version, which makes sense from an angle, it's Layla's going to be there for you by not being there around you. Because you're like, from the danger.
I just need to get this one thing. Also, I can't do the spell without other people, so it's not like I can reinstate the soul without help.
Yeah, you need a second.
I was just going to get the soul, but we'll see what happens now.
Well, and a spear, otherwise very bad things will happen.
Well, yeah, the spear is just because it should be in there.
Yeah. But
oh god.
The standard caveat warning I have to give all of you is be very careful if you're planning to double cross Rat. Even if you're going to try and find a loophole in the deal, but try and cross it because he's trying to give you the best of the deal.
Layla has no plans of double crossing. Yeah, Layla has no plans of double crossing Rob, but if you guys plan something...
Oh yeah, I know Layla isn't, but I just want to check.
I think unless we learned, like, this is the spear that will end the world, then Imogen might be like, I feel like that's problematic, but if it's just like, I have this very powerful spear because I want it for my mantelpiece, like, she'll be like, all right, you're a fucking weirdo.
And that's why Layla was trying to get you guys to research some of that stuff.
That was quite nicely, subtly done, yeah. Yeah,
so like on Layla's side, she was like, okay, I need to figure out where Charity is at all times, make sure that Rob can track that so that they can keep safe. I need to figure out where the fuck I can get a soul from so that I can get that, and because we keep talking about it. We've talked about it a million times, but we just have never done it because something else keeps coming up, right? Mm-hmm. Then that moment that she ripped off Imogen's arm, Layla's like, no, this is not happening anymore.
See, and I think that's the other thing is Imogen's like, my arm got ripped off and you fuck off to another country.
It was literally, I know for us as our peers, it's been like 3 weeks of this, but for you guys, it's been like 48 hours.
Yeah.
And the person who
like
said,
Imogen's like, that is like another nail in the coffin of like, you don't give a shit about me.
You were psychologically tortured, had to fight your friend, were
I'm
shot by your friend, had your arm
I'm getting
ripped off.
revenge. I have like Layla's mentality is vengeance. She's so mad right now.
Yeah.
She's like,
I don't know how that went last time.
She wants Charity to like feel everything. And like, unfortunately, giving her back her soul is the way that's going to make that happen. Killing her won't make her feel pain.
That's really interesting from Imogen's angle, because Imogen is normally, I really like vengeance as well, but in this case it's Layla went to do the vengeance and Imogen's like, why weren't you there for me? Because I wanted you to be there for me, not the vengeance. Okay,
yeah,
vengeance.
Right? That's what someone
do you
else
reckon
said.
she's going to learn from that, or
Imogen learn?
And then I think the other one was trying to do it without putting you guys in harm's way was like her third.
Yeah. So I think we'll round out the after show there, because I know we need to make something quick, but it's interesting. You also know something of a larger meta plot now, because you didn't think that calling Heaven, and I said the call went through the prison. It went through the prison. It had to go out the other side to get to Heaven.
I just figured they would have patched
what you
it.
meant. Just ignored it.
Rob's like having this internal struggle even more than he was before, I'm sure.
Sorry, I really like the Spirit Medium thing, so I'm totally playing that up for you.
It's awesome.
Oh yeah.
I love
Fun with that.
Anyway, thank you very much for watching the
Rob's
after
just
show.
gonna die.
Yeah, Josh.
Gonna
Then he
die
talks to
sad.
himself.
Oh,
Josh, me and you need to talk about how we can fuck over your character. We've done the rest, so it's your turn.
No, we have had a conversation about what I want to do with Barnaby. That is not the same
someone
as
else
fucking
called
him
James?
over.
I thought Imogen was going to go be a vengeance demon, actually. I was like, oh my God.
It
to stop
was
her.
who got to her first. And the fact that they went out and talked her down meant that she wasn't going to do it. If they hadn't gone outside and talked to her, she would have been crying and then been like, hey, Dahafrin, let's have a chat.
By the way, the most interesting part of that is that Violet didn't push you and let the talk happen. Because Violet has a vested interest, because she got a deal a long time ago that if she managed to persuade you to be a vengeance demon, she'd get to go back.
Oh, man. See, like that could be just such an interesting plot line.
So that's where I decided it. I was like, Imogen, if no one talks her down, she will make that decision. If someone talks her down, she's open to
And that
it.
would have been effectively Imogen disappears from the plot because that's basically NPC, and Violet disappears because she gets to be a vengeance demon again.
No way.
So,
But on the plus side, I could have come back as my good old boy.
anyway, thank you for watching. This has been a lovely after show, and we'll see you next week.